tuning into Baiswave.
Okay, we are recording now. So, welcome, Luca.
Hello.
Glad to have you back.
Glad to be back.
Let's introduce the upcoming match. What made you guys want to expand and include more teams and more studies, more programs?
I mean, it was, to be fair, the plan from the start, actually. I think that was the original idea before the Derby was even made, because we were thinking big from the start. And the Derby, in a way, was actually the downsizing of what is happening now. Because this time we had way more. We had over the summer, logistically speaking, talking to all the student associations, all the people we needed in our contacts to make sure that these teams are secured for when, the time comes. If we were to be truly honest, we were trying to get the other university of The Hague involved as well, the THUAS, the Haagse school. I have to say they were rather uncooperative, a bit of radio silence on that point, but I think with the success of Friday, it will be a bit of a cinch. It'll be easy to get them for next year.
Yeah, on the topic of last semester's Derby, you guys changed the name from the Derby of the Century to Rise The Hague?
Yeah, that was more of a pivot. Derby of the Century was something that off the cuff spat out while I was sitting with the rest of the organizers, and they're like, oh, that actually sounds kind of sick, and they just went for that. It was also like a time constraint thing, of we have to make an Instagram. What are we gonna call it? And then it so happened and ended up in that, but that's a bit restricting account because it's just encompassing two, the IRO and the IS, right? But we're trying to be a bit bigger here, and I think Rise, which also came almost off the cuff. We were just thinking of inspiring words and things like that.
Isn't it an acronym, by the way, for something?
Technically, yeah. And I should know this acronym, but I wrote it. But it's recreation, inspiration, technically sports, but you could swap it for socialization. And the E is... It was partly entertainment. It was a part. There's another word for this. What's it called? It's dancing on the tip of my tongue. And now it's doing a little Irish jig. Yeah. But I forget. Actually the word. Okay. But it's nice that it falls into an acronym. But I think Rise as a word is actually just what we're going for. I think, acronym aside, Rise actually encompasses exactly what we're trying to put out, which is, rise up a little bit. And I know it sounds a little bit political almost, which isn't something that we're afraid to go down the alleyway of, because I think of Rise a bit in a bigger, grander scheme, potential IP in a way. Ooh. Because I like the idea of there being a Rise. It flows off the tongue a bit. Yeah, nice. Yeah, no, Rise Radio. It's very Rise News. It works.
It's very marketable.
It's I know. Yeah. And the logo, and I just drawn that logo immediately. Yeah. As soon as I thought of the word Rise, I was like, the eye's an arrow. This makes so much sense. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. That was fun. That was super fun to just make.
So, more about the match, right? The proceeds are going to the same charity this year?
Yes. As they were last year? Yes.
Yeah. So can you briefly remind us of who this charity is and what they do?
It's a Hague-based charity with a local focus on children from impoverished families who lack the funds for their kids to... It could be clothes, it could be materials for school, it could be enrichment days or, fees for their extracurriculars. And it's just sometimes, change starts from within, and that's what we really like. It's called Help Out The Hague Cup for a reason, Yeah. And you should always strive to make differences in your everyday life, the ones you can actually see down the street before you can start reaching elsewhere, right? And it's crazy that even in a city like The Hague, there's still people falling through the cracks, And I just feel like that's not right. And it's amazing that there's a power to it, the fact that there's international students who are almost a bit ostracized by the system at this very moment. Not to get political, but especially by the Dutch government with restrictions and budget cuts. It's like a light in the darkness that like we're trying to do something very fun and just help the people who are living in this country, which are not, if we're going to go into, this is the IS speaking, if we're going to go into imagined communities and things like that, it's like we really are just people and we're just trying to help. And I think it's a beautiful, beautiful endeavor.
Were they as excited to partner with you this year as they were last year?
Oh, absolutely. We just sort of gave them a heads up. It was like, check coming in.
Yeah.
Just to make sure you're checking your ING kind of thing. Like, because we're definitely working with you guys again. And they're like, couldn't be happier,
On the topic of new organizations, this year you're going to be organizing the event with Picasso.
Ooh, I like that, Picasso. Exactly.
Can you tell us more about them and like how you came to partner with them?
Yeah, well, I think it's getting to become a household name at this moment in time. With you can't really be at a party and it's not a Picasso party. Happens to be that there's a tangent to be drawn here, parallel. Both student-led organizations started. They also they put their work in, and it just so happens to be that the creator of it is a recent graduate.
Yeah.
And that was like cha-ching, first of all. What a way to have a common denominator there. That's so nice. And, we won last time, so he was also just hyped like, oh, nice, guys, we got the win.
Yeah.
So now working with them by our side, we can just do 10x what we wanted to do before, There's so much quality increase that we can provide for the viewers and the players and everyone involved, the venue, everything about it, it really does help to have someone with some financial backing, especially when you're students working out of your own pockets for charity. There's no profit to be heard of on our side. Yeah. Whatever penny we can spare, which is just about everything, is going to go to those kids.
So about the venue and the match day itself. Yeah. So there are going to be more teams this year.
Yes.
So how will the matches be structured? Will the matches be played at different times or at the same, like two at the same time?
Mm-hmm. It's very simple. We're going to have our shorter games since we have so many teams. Not only is it tiring on the players, but it's also like how much football can one person who is... There's a lot of people in the crowds who are not football heads by any means. They're just coming because it's a fun school event. Football happens to be the thing they're watching, right? So you have to take that in mind. You have to find this little golden ratio, the sweet spot. So games are going to be 15 by 15, and then, so that's 30 minutes. Lo and behold, we got lucky. We upgraded again. Our venue has 2 pitches, right? So the 4 teams will play each other in the mixing at the same time. And then after the games are done, there's a break. You swap teams. They play that. We figure out who's the first top 2. Final comes in. That's going to be 40 minutes, just slightly longer, but not too much, And that's it on the games itself. We want to keep it snappy, blitz it. You have time to get some food.
Yeah.
Keep getting your beer, have fun. Because
So,
it's not the Champions League either.
that's fair enough. But this year it will be a bigger venue, a new venue,
and better football.
Yeah.
I know I said it's not Champions League, but it's looking good.
Yeah.
The fact that we've now integrated all years and the new influx of first years, which surprisingly enough are probably the best players. This new generation, this first year wave is actually the ones who are probably pushing the skill ceiling up top, which is very nice to see because that means you're going to catch these guys for the next 3 years.
Yeah, well, that's something to look
longevity,
forward to,
And you can pass that down to these people,
Yeah.
Which is something that we always think about. That like, I don't want to leave and this just drops dead. This has to be a torch that's passed down. Because if you keep thinking, oh, this is going to get bigger to the point where it's genuinely legitimized, maybe it's legitimized in the eyes of the town hall, permits, everything, all of that thing. This is legit now, by the way, just PSA. But if we get a bit of backing, maybe government-wise as well, maybe we get a news anchor, some stuff like that, then I just find it, like, there's no way it's too big to fall, And that's genuinely unbelievable amounts of money that would be generated every year, forever, until the nuclear war happens, or whatever. That it's, so it's unbelievable, the roadmap for this thing. It's actually so exciting.
So we also had some very good commentators last year.
Yes. My
Will they
brother
be
Rami.
back?
Rami will be back with a
Rami
vengeance.
will be back.
Yes. I think we're going to do solo commentator this time.
Ooh.
Just because, I mean, we were trying to look at other options. It's just that no one wants to step to the hot plate. Rami he performed in such a stellar fashion. It was like, it's almost daunting to be next to him. He's like, he's just too good. He's not going to be able to commentate both games at the same time. So obviously he's going to only do it for the final. But can't wait for that. He's got his own booth. That's what I'm saying. Venue's upgraded, so we have a commentator booth. There's levels to it, and we're moving up.
How many tickets have been sold as of today?
We've passed the 1,000 mark as of today.
Yeah, so we are 2 days away from the match and already 1,000.
And that's really, which is double what we did last time, right? And this time I think more people will be in attendance because we sold more tickets than were people in attendance last time. So this time I don't think that's going to happen as much. It's like it's early in the first year, no one's going anywhere. And so it's like guaranteed seats, which is important, especially when you have, a venue that you have to make happy with sales. That's something they always have to think in the background. But yeah, we're at 1,000 mark now. Give it this day and 2 more days. We'll be up another 500. Hopefully we go up, shoot to 2,000. Since last year, I've realized there's a lot of late birds. These students are lazy. They don't want to invest their money until the thing is happening the day of or tomorrow. It's a bizarre psychology that I've picked up on, and something that's been confirmed by Picasso because they're used to obviously selling tickets to students all the time, and they're like, yeah, don't worry, man, they're all gonna show up on the day, but if you don't buy them in the next 2 days, you're gonna have to pay double on the day. So don't be silly.
Yeah, well, that's the incentive, right?
That is the incentive.
Yeah, get them now while they're hot.
That is it's simple as really.
Okay, so rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Who do you think is going to win?
IS.
IS?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a question there.
Who do you think is going to lose?
The worst, as in like be at the bottom?
Yeah.
It's word on the street. It's security studies team.
Which team will have the loudest fans?
Hopefully this year it's IS, but IRO, they really showed up last year, and now there's a dark horse, LUC, and these guys are like a cult. So they're kind of like a hive mind to me, and I feel like they would probably have the most active community, but we'll see.
Okay, which teams is going to get the most fouls?
Ooh, probably IRO, because they're gonna get mad that we're so good.
Which team has practiced the most so far?
I think everyone's got so far technically IS because we've got our final training in. But LEC, they're technically a team that has existed before this event. So that's why I'm saying they have a lot of chemistry. They built some stuff from before. So probably LEC, if I was to be honest.
Which team is the most likely to get wasted before the match?
Maybe security studies just to get them through. No hate, but maybe us.
Which team?
Like berserkers,
Yeah. Which team will get the most wasted after?
Oh, definitely us. Definitely IS.
Nice.
Or whoever lost the worst. There's gonna be someone who's drinking their joys, celebrating, and someone's gonna be drinking their pain away. Hopefully, all of them are equal though.